Hello everybody, I'm back. Cindel Granger here. I am a doula for the Southwest Louisiana area, and I'm here talking about what I wish I would have known, or if I knew then what I knew now. I had a friend request this. As a mother of 4, going from completely uneducated in the birth and pregnancy world to now where I'm at, you can imagine I have a lot of regrets and a lot of what ifs. And so one of my biggest reason for becoming a doula is to hopefully save women from having those regrets, because a lot of them weigh on me, and I don't want someone else to have to deal with that weight. So I would love to save you from that. So today's talk is if I knew then what I knew now, or, hopefully I can save you from ever having to say that. So first thing we're going to talk about is nutrition. I know nobody wants to talk about that. I didn't want to hear about it. It's a big gap in the obstetrical world. Your OB is not going to talk to you about what you should eat. Which is another reason why I love midwifery care. It's a huge part of it. As a doula, it's something I discuss with my clients who aren't seeing a midwife, because it's something that's so important to me. Your health and what you eat not only matters while you're pregnant, actually leading up to your pregnancy, up into conception, the health of your body leading up to that actually affects your body during pregnancy, and it can affect your baby. Some doctors will say a sick mama makes a sick baby. So how you eat before and during your pregnancy can actually even affect not only you and your baby's health, but how your pregnancy and your delivery goes. Because if your diet's not correct and you're not getting the proper nutrients, you could have things like gestational diabetes or hypertension, where you have uncontrolled blood pressure, or even have a preterm delivery. Now, some of those things have nothing to do with what you eat or the way you exercised or how healthy you were, but actually a large percentage of it is. Actually, a large percentage of midwifery clients don't have those issues. They don't have gestational diabetes or hypertension. And usually they don't have preterm deliveries, and it's not a coincidence. I think it's got mostly to do that their clients are getting proper nutritional education that they're just not getting in obstetrics. So, nutrition. Why does it matter? Does it matter? Now, I understand the first couple trimesters you feel terrible. You're excited if you get 3 French fries down. And I'm saying French fries because that's what I wanted when I was pregnant. Like, you want salty and crispy and hot, and it's hard to get in those greens. It's really hard. But if you're healthy leading up to your pregnancy, I honestly think it's going to affect how you feel during those first couple of trimesters. You may not be as sick. You may be able to tolerate more foods. So everything we put in our mouth matters, especially when you're getting ready to grow a human being inside of you. Let's see. Okay, we talked about nutrition. Of course, I'm not going into depth about these things, but I want to give you I want to open something up inside of your mind to make you dig in and learn for yourself. Like, that's what I love to do as an educator, as a birth educator. I want you to dig in, and I want you to find this information. I want to put a little bug in your ear, and then I want you to be like, wow, that makes sense. Let me go look this up and research it. That's really what I want you to do. But of course, I'll answer any questions you have as well, and maybe point you in the right direction. The next thing, if I knew then what I know now, is, does my doctor matter? Okay, I'm going to give you a little backstory because I like doing this. I got pregnant when I was 18. I was married. We had only been married for a few months. I wanted a baby. I always knew I wanted a big family. So my current gynecologist did not deliver, so she referred me to the obstetrician in her office, the OBGYN in her office. And I just, like, sure, you know, it didn't really matter. They're doctors. They deliver babies. And I did not like her. Like, but I never thought, can I switch doctors? Do I have to stay with this doctor? Like, that never crossed my mind. I don't want you to have that issue. I want you to know these doctors work for you. And if you don't like them, you could switch. You could switch at 38 weeks. Like, don't stick with a doctor that does not make you feel wonderful, okay? Just don't do it. Or one that you don't feel comfortable with or you don't trust, all right? Or one that doesn't line up with how you see birthing your baby, okay? I don't want you having that. And I had a very traumatic first delivery, and I don't want that to happen to you. Doesn't matter where I give birth. That was another thing I didn't question. I'm going to deliver in a hospital like everybody else, you know? I wasn't even aware that there was midwifery care or that home birth or birth centers were an option. I wasn't aware of that, which a lot of people aren't in this area. It matters. It matters where you give birth. This is your birth, okay? This is your experience. This is not your mom's experience. This is not your sister's experience. This is not your mother-in-law's experience. This is your experience. And it's not my experience. If I'm your doula, it's not my experience. If I have a mama that comes to me and they want to deliver in a hospital and have an epidural, guess what? I'm making that happen for them because it's their birth. It's not my birth. All right? This is your birth. Where you birth matters. If the hospital is too restrictive for you and you realize that they're going to infringe on your feelings of free birth and doing it the way you want to do it, then guess what? Don't deliver there, okay? If delivering at home makes you nervous, then don't deliver there. Go do the in-between route. Do a birth center. Maybe you could do a home birth next time. You never know. And honestly, though, once you get more education under your belt, home birth's not going to be as scary for you. So I could talk a little bit about the difference between home birth, birth center, or hospital. Those are your three options. You've got home birth, delivering in the comfort of your own home, surrounded by all your own germs that you and your baby are already accompanied to. A birth center, maybe it's probably going to be closer to the hospital. And then you've got your hospital, okay? Some of the pluses about the hospital is you do have staff waiting on you. You know, everything you need's there. There's no cleanup for you to have to deal with. And if there were emergency, you have a peace of mind that there's an OR there for you if you need it. But there's less chances of you needing an OR if you're not near an OR. That's just statistically speaking. Do I need to take a birth class? Of course I don't need a birth class. Good grief. People have been having babies for thousands and thousands of years. Why would I need to take a birth class? Baby's just gonna come out and everything's gonna be great, you know? Your birth will not magically go your way. Sorry, being real honest with you, it's not gonna magically go your way. It's an extremely life-altering and strenuous event. They don't call it labor for nothing. Okay, some labors can last 3 or 4 days, especially if it's your first labor. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to know, is it time for me to go to the hospital or should I stay home? Are you going to know, is your husband going to be educated? Is he going to know how to help you? Can you give birth with no preparation? Well, sure, of course. Your baby will come out. It will come out. Even breech babies come out. Unless they are transverse, then they're not coming out. Besides belly birth, that baby would be a belly birth. So, can you give birth with no preparation? Sure, women do it every day. I did it with my first. It wasn't very fun. Can birth be traumatic and go completely different than you wanted? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No birth is predictable. Even if you plan it to a T, you still have to keep a keep in mind that birth rarely goes as we planned. Okay. So can birth be traumatic? Definitely. I know people don't want to hear that, and I don't want to scare you, but unfortunately that's the case for most women in America. We have like a 34% cesarean rate. That's really high. Okay? It should not be that high. And it's rising every day. Okay? The more cesarean sections, the more maternal mortality rate, the more women die, the more babies die. All right? I'm not trying to scare you, but like I said, I don't want you to have regrets. So not preparing for your birth can actually set you up for really, really difficult interventions. Interventions that you did not prepare for. All right? So, like I said earlier, birth can last days for most first-time moms. If you aren't educated and aware of all the variations, you will feel very lost and afraid when it comes time for you. Knowledge is power, and it dispels fear. I'm not talking about a hospital birth class. I'm talking about a really good birth class. One that prepares you for natural birth. One that prepares you mentally to where you have all the tools in your bag, okay, that you need no matter what type of route your birth goes. So this kind of brings me to the topic of doulas. With my first 2 pregnancies, I didn't know anything. There was no one there helping guide me in which direction I should go. And honestly, I didn't know I should even be looking for someone to guide me. I was completely lost. I regret lots of things about my first 2 births. And the biggest thing I regret is not having a mentor. Someone I could trust and I knew who would help me reach my goals and understand me. The hospital nurse that you're meeting for the first time, she's going to have other births to attend. She's not going to be able to sit with you, all right? She's not going to sit with you through each contraction. She's going to run in, take you in baby's vitals, and have to run out. The doctor, she may spend a total of 30 minutes in your room with you from the start of your labor to the end, all right? They don't have time to sit with you either. Your husband will want to support you, but maybe he isn't going to know how. Maybe he feels intimidated and he doesn't know what you need. And a lot of times guys are scared. They don't want to admit it, but guys are scared. They've never seen their wives and their soulmates in this much pain. And it stresses them out. Some guys are just really good at it. Some guys, the majority of guys probably aren't. They love you, and this is hard for them to watch you and to what you go through. All right? But they want to be there for you. And that is what a doula does for a dad. A good doula. A good doula is going to prepare dad to be Superman for you. Because really that's what women want. They want their husbands more than they want their doula. But you know what? Dad wants doula. Dads become my biggest fans more than anyone else, just because they're like, man, I knew what to do. I felt like I could help her, and that's empowering for them. And their touch is what puts you at ease. Sure, I bring all my tools and my pain relieving all my pain relieving things, my tennis balls and my TENS unit and my oils and my hands. My hands are my biggest tool. I bring my Rebozo, it's a birthing scarf. Sure, I bring all those things, okay? But you want your husband. You want dad, okay? And I'm there to give him a break, and I'm there to just, support both of you and to help remind you of your goals. So those are my top things of what I wish I would have known. I wish I would have known about nutrition. I wish I would have known I could have picked a different doctor, or I wish I would have known about midwives. I wish I would have known I could have birthed somewhere besides the hospital. I wish I would have known that birth can be hard and scary and can really go in the direction you don't want it to go. I wish I would have known about a birthing class. I wish my top 2 birthing classes are Bradley Method and Birth Boot Camp. Really awesome classes. They will give you and dad everything. They're everything you need to know from start to finish, including nutrition, including exercise, including comfort measures. All right. Top high on my list. Bradley Method, Birth Boot Camp. And I wish I would have known about a doula. I wish I would have had a doula. So, all right. This was not medical advice, but doula dictations. Does that make sense? Anyway, please subscribe to my page, and I love you.